Okay. So anymore, there are so many movies that come out that it's damn near impossible for me to see everything. I haven't seen The Woman King or Confess Fletch, but I saw Running the Bases, and I am so glad I did. First things first, I didn't go into this movie thinking it was going to be lousy. I really didn't give it much thought beyond it might be passable. The movie stars Brett Varvel, who was in American Underdog, which was okay. It also features Rafael Ruggiero and Justin Sterner, both of whom were in Life Mark, which I saw last week, which wasn't good, but it could have been worse. So yeah, I let my guard down, and what I got was an old school persecution complex movie. It's been a while since there's been one of these. Like someone watched God's Club, the movie where they throw Molotov cocktails at the Christian teacher's house, or One Nation Under God, the one where evil Casper Van Dien wants to outlaw the Pledge of Allegiance, and then they thought, let's take those movies and make it about baseball. Really, this is like two movies in one, with the first half being innocent enough. It's about a man named Luke who can't play baseball due to a heart defect, so he becomes a coach, and then moves his family to Texas so he can coach at a larger high school. However, the movie starts out really weird. Let me tell you about a little something called the love rope. When he and his twin brother were kids and were acting up, their mother would tie a rope around their waist to drag them into church. Okay, whatever. But this continues on to when they're teenagers, only they both look like adults in their mid-20s with rope around their waist sitting in church. Like this is a weird fetish thing going on. Coach Luke applies this to his team. When two are fighting, he pulls out the love rope, which this time is pink and has a belt attached to it and looks like fetish gear. People in the stands are looking on, and the faculty is like, oh, it's okay, it's just his love rope. To make it even weirder, one of them has to go take a piss, so when he's standing outside of the porta potty, he goes to his happy place, where he is daydreaming about slow motion dancing with his love interest, who even in his dreams hates him and just slaps him. This movie is random. And everyone in it is really just types, like the old assistant coach who only speaks in verses and wise sayings. Or the evil superintendent who comes in like a mafia boss and always speaks really intense, saying things like, you know, if you win that championship for us, there could be a new stadium in your future. Like he's about to put a handful of $100 bills in the coach's pocket. The dude acts like Bob Odenkirk spoofing a character like this on Mr. Show, which is funny because this guy was in Breaking Bad. Even the school board itself is questionable. Brad Stein from Christmas with a capital C pops up, who sets up crooked land deals, which buys up church land so they can tear down the church and build a football stadium. I love the bully, though. So in the film, the coach and his son have a tradition where they run the bases. The team asks the son about this, and he says, yeah, my uncle died of a heart attack when he was running the bases, so now my dad and I do it every game to honor him, and then we say a prayer afterwards. And then the asshole player is just like, lame. But keep the whole running the bases thing in mind, because that's what the whole second half of the film is about. I just thought the title was a generic baseball movie sounding title, but no, it plays into the plot hard. The superintendent is so pissed off that not only does the coach do this symbolic run, but also that he gave his son a Bible, so he wants to destroy this man. Yep, the whole second half is a persecution film. He gets a citation for $250 every time he runs the bases, to the point to where during the games, there's a cop standing on third base who keeps handing him tickets, like, here you go, Here you go. It literally cleans out his savings account and leaves them broke. But hey, at least the cop is there to join them in a celebratory huddle after winning a game. That happens. Everything in this movie escalates quickly, from little things like people speaking normally, and then they'll just scream at each other. It's jarring. I love when new best friend Ryan comes over for a sleepover, and since he goes to a non-religious school, he sees a Bible at Coach's house, picks it up, and is like, "Hey, what's this?" Then they read to him, he starts crying, and instantly converts in a montage that shows him getting baptized. All of this happens in like a weekend. There's people who don't even seem like love interests, but then the next thing you know, they're getting married. Even the extras are weird. It's an oddly silent movie. Like, there's no atmosphere, no sounds really in the background. You'll have a scene where the pitcher is talking to the coach, but the crowd is just sitting there, silent, for no reason. They'll just be sitting there like mannequins, and then clap when something happens. So it looks like this, like... But if you need an example of what a typical 15 minutes of this movie is like, then hold on, wait till you hear what I'm about to describe. The superintendent has had enough of the coach running the bases, so he has the asshole cops storm the field during a game to place him under arrest and throw him to the ground. Coach then almost suffers a heart attack during this. An ambulance shows up, but he is still sent to county lockup anyway, which looks like a maximum security prison. While he's there, he does convert a couple of the inmates, except for the face tattoo covered gang leader who picks up his Bible and is like, "So what you got here, preacher man?" And then after that, he locks himself in the cell with the coach and beats the shit out of him. It's okay though. Coach's civil rights attorney gets him out of jail. If I could say anything nice about it, it's not all bad. Brett Varvel is actually a really good lead. There is some acting that's really lousy, but not him. He's good. In Lifemark, Justin Sterner's character was so abrasively annoying that somehow it became the best worst character of the year. I had so much material on that character. I spent half of my review of that movie talking about him. In this movie, he's pretty much playing the same character. The comedy relief sitcom style best friend. For instance, in Lifemark, he came in saying, "Hey, what's up, Mrs. C?" And in this one, he says, "Hey, what's up, Mrs. B?" Again, I'm not kidding. I like how he's the best friend of the lead's son, and the main character from Lifemark plays the younger version of our lead. So it's like it's about this man whose descendants are all doomed to have this best friend. I will say this though, he is a lot better in this movie than in Lifemark. His timing is way better. The movie knows when to let him be funny and when to pull it back and let him be dramatic without ruining any moment. And here, he does both of those things well. I'm not going to give the movie an F because it did have those positive things going for it. I won't give it a D- because, believe it or not, it's still more competent than Jeepers Creepers Reborn, even if it feels like you're watching dailies for a movie that contains all of the elements of a parody. The movie's a D, and as funny as it is, there are times where it's painful to sit through. If this thing were only 90 minutes long, it'd be a rip-roaring great time watching a terrible movie. But it's 2 hours and 10 minutes. It's too damn long. It has no business being this long, and it lags. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and stay tuned because we'll have a review coming up for Don't Worry, Darling. Plus, while you're at it, look us up over at cameo.com/thecinemasnob, where you can book yourself a birthday message, a shout out, ask questions, whatever your heart desires. Hell, I even shot one last night when I was outside the theater about to go see Running the Bases. So head on over to Cameo and we'll see you next time.